Ford Fusion 2.3 liter or 2.5 liter cold air intake installation. I will put a link down in the description below if you're interested in buying one yourself. It's an Amazon affiliate link. But without further ado, here are the tools I have set out here. I have a flathead and a Phillips head screwdriver. You may need a pocket knife or some snips because I'm told that some of the hoses that come with it might need to be trimmed. But yeah, the clamp here is a flathead or an 8mm. And then the mass air sensors held on with Phillips head screws. Here's the kit here. A shield here. That's the weather stripping for the shield. And some clamps. Got some silicone couplers and hoses here. That's it. Alright, you guys. Here's the kit. All unboxed, unwrapped, and naked. Okay. And I am impressed. Compared to that $50 kit from eBay for the Focus, for this Fusion here, I got one on Amazon for $115 or so. Feels like a more solid constructed piece of metal here. And it comes with new screws for the mass air sensor. See that? You see it right there? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take those screws out because I know I'll need to eventually. I'm going to go around, double check, make sure the welds are good, make sure there's no spots where it's going to leak air. Alright, all good. Ooh, there's a lot of these things. Make sure there's no damage. Check the filter for damage. Alright, I think she's ready to go in. So what do you say we get this factory intake out of here? Okay, let's slide back on this lever. Just push down, pull back. Then there's this hose here. Should be able to just twist and pull. Twist and pull. Okay. That just popped out of there. That's fine. It has a little barb on it right there, so that's fine. It'll pop right back in. Got a quick disconnect down here. See? There's a little tang on the bottom. You'll feel it. You pull this way. You see it moving. Then you can... Ow! Then you can pull back. That's disconnected. Utilizing a flathead, I am just unthreading this hose here enough to slide it off the throttle body. Okay, that's loose. Next, I'm going to go ahead and there you go. Just slide it off the throttle body. Now I want to pop the airbox, the lower airbox, out of the grommets that it's held in. So I'm just going to grab right here, pull straight up. There we go. That's it. There is another piece in here that you can take out. There we go. I mean, if you want to, you can leave this in. It might rattle, but it'll assist in pulling a little more cool air up in the engine, so up to you. Now is a good time to inspect your transmission mount for cracks. Like if the rubber's completely disintegrated in here, replace it. I mean... I know that's not what we're doing today, but perfect chance to go ahead and check that. I wonder why the factory wouldn't just make a shorter line right there. That's the clutch line for the slave cylinder. It's all coiled and ran down there on the bottom. That's weird. Ford, you're weird. I'm going to go ahead and thread off this mass air sensor because I know I'll need to eventually. Phillips head screws, counterclockwise. 2 of them. Now's a good chance, if you have mass airflow sensor cleaner, to spray this off. Let it dry for an hour before you put it back in if you want to do that, because there's a little heater element in it and you want it dry. And don't put it in anything, just sit it on dry surface. There's a breakdown of kind of what it's going to look like installed. I'm sort of getting the pipe and everything kind of ready and orientated to go in. And if you're confused and you want to double check like me, you can set your factory airbox down the way it was in the car like this. And you see that's where the mass air sensor is toward the back. So you can orientate that like that. Although that may vary. It might change since you're putting an aftermarket part on here. I'm going to go ahead and slide this on with the clamp right here. Make sure you get the clamps, the heads. I'm going to put them all in the same sort of spot like that just so I can go in there with a screwdriver and easily access all the clamps because they're going to stretch a little bit and you'll have to retighten them after the first drive and after a week or so. Get it flush up against that little notch there all the way around. Make sure it's all the way on. I'm going to get this clamp slid down. Silicone is a little sticky feeling, so you might have to grab the clamp, and there we go. All right. This clamp that they gave me is really not big enough. See? See, it really doesn't reach. It needs to get right in there for it to start tightening it. So let me see if I have a bigger one in the house. Or reuse the factory clamp. It just rotates and comes off. See those little notches there? Rotates through the notches. That'll work. It's also a flat head. All right. Yeah, problem solved. All right, that's all snugged up, and the factory clamp is probably not going to stretch and break in and stuff like the cheap clamps that came with this, so that's also a plus. All right. Back over here, utilizing the supplied bolt, washer, and lock washer, we'll go ahead and fasten this bracket to the intake pipe in this manner. See that bracket right there? Pause the video if you need to. I'm going to keep that bolt kind of loose for now, but you will need to get a 10mm wrench for that. But yeah, I'm going to leave it loose so that I can line everything up later and bolt it down. I've got all three of those caps off of here. On my 2.3 liter Fusion, I'm going to go ahead and put this rubber stop on here. There we go. And put that little clamp on there as well to hold this on. It's going to block it off so no air gets sucked on, because that port's not going to be used on this application. All done. I'm going to go ahead and install this weather strip type material on this airbox here. You see how I've got the airbox sit down? The curve like that. This hole over here, straight up. The weather strip's going to go on this thin edge right here. And if you see here, there's a thin area that it kind of pushes down onto that with. There we go. You might need to give it a good push to get on there, but that's kind of where I'm at now. And as a frame of reference, this is where I'm, okay, clear up here. This is where I'm starting over in this corner. I'm going to go up here, all the way down to here. All right, boys, corners here are kind of tricky. Just be patient, easier said than done. But, all right, down to this point here, I'm going to go ahead and snip it off with the pliers there, the cutters, about even with this. I did have it kind of on here for a second, but I don't think that's going to work out because this mounts to the frame rail. See? This is where it mounts right here. It's 10mm bolt, and you're going to have to take out and reuse, and same right here. Get those two out and pop this retainer off of the screwdriver, whatever you've got. This cut through that like butter. It's flush right there now. Flush-ish. Whoops. It's the other 10mm. There we go. Do not pinch this wire. Oh my goodness. Pull it up to the side. Pay attention to the hole. And there's the bolt hole. Go ahead and put the thread in. Put the bolt in the thread. I can't talk. Got both bolts hand started there. Okay. Good. All right, let's see here. I know I gotta put the clamp on still. There we go. Get in there. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna orientate the tightening portion of it about the same spot. Get it up on the edge here so it'll grab onto the pipe. You may even want to push the pipe as far in as you can just to make sure that it's in as far as it can be. There we go. Do make sure that you keep this pipe about centered in this hole here. Before I tighten that clamp down there, I'm just going to go ahead and get this in here. and thread that onto here. Slide it on. I had to loosen the clamp a little bit for the air filter here, and then it slid on. It seems like it's seated, and it just so happens to be where the clamp is just outside of the shield here, so you can get your screwdriver on here and tighten it down. Now for the fun part, once again, this clamp isn't really the right size. It's a little bit small. It might be able to reach. They need to get their game together, get the right sizes in this kit here, but I'm going to give it a shot. Remember that bracket? It does appear they're going to want you to use a throttle body mounting bolt to fasten that down there. And then you want to snug up the 10mm bolt that's holding this to the cold air intake. But yeah, you will need an 8mm as well to get that bolt right there loose and run this down. But yeah, before I start tightening up these other clamps here, I'm going to get that bolt threaded through that bracket here. Just get it started. Got my trusty 5/16 socket. Oops. I need a ratchet. Once that bracket's lined up, everything is going to sort of self-align here. That's centered in the hole here on the shield. You can snug this clamp down here, and I'm going to tighten this down and then snug up this clamp here. Once again, hope it is long enough. Just tightening the 10mm bolt down here. There we go. Okay. Double check that the clamp is clamped down on this pipe and not thin air. Make sure there's no gap. There's the gap. That's good. There's no clamp on the gap. I feel where the this pipe comes close to this throttle body here, and this is fully fastened down on this. Okay, breather hose time. This clamp right here needs to be squeezed and pulled off. Ow. Rotate and pull. Use both hands. Pull back on this so you don't tear anything up. Make sure this little breather cap that my finger's on doesn't fall off for your engine will run lean. That took a little bit of muscles. There's smaller and there's larger silicone tubing. Get the smaller one for this smaller fitting right here. Figure out how much you're going to need and cut. Leave enough slack in the hose so that there's no bend right here, because you want this to flow air. You don't want to go like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut it about where my thumb is right here. Honestly, I don't think this needs any clamps. This has a barb on it, and this is just not coming off of here, so I think you'll be fine without clamps, and the clamps are not included in the kit either, so that's fine. All right, remember this thing we disconnected earlier? Notice this issue we have here. Follow this back to right here. Take it off of what I believe is the PCV valve. Feel for the little release tab. You may need to push in on it. Pull the tab over. Pull out. Okay. There's the release tab right here, that white thing. See, it pulls like that. And you're going to want to remove this hose from the car. It's held in right here. See? You need to pop that out of that support. There you go. There it is. And grab your larger tubing, route it through, and slide it on. I hope this is enough. That's not very much. That's definitely not enough. Okay. You know, I wonder if they expect me to cut the factory hose here and slide this on. Let's do that. I mean, why not just put a longer hose in the kit? Come on. Now I can't go back to my factory. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to put this back on the car, and then I'll be able to slide this over this. Okay, that's back on. Routed through here. Connected back up right there. And I'm going to slide this on. This nipple right here, and the cut-off piece of factory hose. More trimming required. I've got this hose slid down as far as I can on that factory breather, and as you can see here, I'm going to trim it about right where my finger is. All right, snip. Slide her on there. Okay, there we go, guys. Okay, she's seated. There's no bend in it. She's still on that factory hose, and that didn't come off. There we go. Now get the mass air sensor in. I'm going to need to get a stubby Phillips head screwdriver because I did not put it in before putting this pipe down. Click. There we go. There it is, you guys. I think we are looking at a finished product here. Double check the clamps here and there. Make sure none of the hoses are going to fall off. And then we can go for a quick ride here. Okay. All right. I don't hear anything different yet, obviously. Oh, yeah. I don't want to get on it too hard just yet. It's raining outside. Oh, yeah. She's got some grunt to her now. Alright guys, if you made it this far, so thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope this was entertaining to you. And this is my Fusion I just got. Some of you may have seen that other video. Okay. She does have a little bit of shake around 60 miles an hour still. Besides that, I've got a clutch master and slave I'm going to put in. Valve cover gasket and tune up still. Videos to come. I've got Phillips low beams, the Ultra Stars, whatever they're called. I thought I'd splurge on the headlight bulbs, out of all things. But yeah, I appreciate it. If you want to give it a like, it'll help share, help with the algorithm and all that. I'm a small channel, still trying to grow. I've got 3 other channels, so if you're interested in that, let me know. I do have them listed in on my channel page under the playlist area. I've got a channel called Big Ben's Ranch where I do stuff around the house and show you the old house I bought and tour through it. It's disgusting and falling apart. And but we did find a bunch of antiques in it, so made videos for that. Shift down. Driving with a manual and recording at the same time is kind of tricky. But then I have Big Ben's Power Sports. I'm going to re-upload my motorcycle videos there and have new content coming as well. And if you like animals, I have a video for cute animals. I know. Anyway, yeah, have yourselves a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.